So imagine this. You're standing on top of a steep hill in England, surrounded by a crowd of equally nervous thrill seekers. Suddenly, a 9-pound wheel of double Gloucester cheese is released, and that's the signal. The race begins. Now here's the thing. Nobody actually runs this race. The hill is so steep and uneven that what really happens is a chaotic mix of tumbling, sliding, and crashing. Competitors go flying down like rag dolls, while the cheese itself picks up terrifying speed, sometimes over 100 kilometers per hour. In other words, it's impossible to catch. The real challenge isn't about outrunning dairy, it's about surviving the descent without breaking too many bones. And yet, year after year, people keep showing up. By the time they reach the bottom, bruised, dizzy, but grinning, the tradition has claimed another round of participants. It's dangerous, it's absurd, but that's exactly what makes cheese rolling one of Britain's quirkiest events. Chess boxing. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Half chess, half boxing. Competitors switch between 4 minutes of chess and 3 minutes of boxing until someone wins, either by checkmate, knockout, or ref's decision. The real twist? That mental whiplash. 1 minute you're throwing punches, the next you're staring at a chessboard, trying to remember strategy while your heart's racing and your face still stings. It's been called the ultimate test of body and mind, and it attracts a unique mix. Fighters who love strategy and chess players who don't mind getting punched in the head. Ferret legging. Yep, that's a real sport, and it's as ridiculous as it sounds. The setup? 2 live ferrets go inside your trousers, the ankles are tied, the waist is secured, and then you just wait. No underwear, no escape hatches, and no shortcuts. The challenge is simple. Who can last the longest with these sharp-toothed, curious little creatures exploring freely? This oddball contest became a hit in Britain during the 1970s, often held at country fairs and pubs, and the record? Legendary. In 1981, Reg Meller, a 62-year-old retired miner, stunned everyone by lasting over 5 hours. Back in the 1950s and 60s, America had a sport so bizarre you'd think it was made up: Octupus Wrestling. Yeah, divers would literally jump into the ocean and try to wrestle live octopuses, dragging them back to shore like it was some kind of underwater WWE match. The rules? Pretty simple. Find the octopus, pry it off the rocks, and bring it up. Of course, the octopus wasn't exactly a willing participant. With its suction cups and crazy strength, it turned into a slimy tug-of-war every single time. At its peak, thousands of people actually showed up to watch these contests. But as you might guess, it didn't age well. Concerns over animal cruelty eventually sank the sport. In Southeast Asia, there's a sport that looks like volleyball at first glance, until you realize no one is using their hands. It's called Sepak Takraw. On a court the size of badminton, players leap, flip, and twist in the air, keeping a rattan ball alive using only their feet, knees, chest, and head. What would be a simple spike in volleyball turns into a gravity-defying bicycle kick or a mid-air somersault. Crowds cheer as athletes pull off moves that look more like kung fu choreography than a sport. For centuries, villages in Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia treated it as tradition. But today it's grown into a national pride, so big that it earned a spot in the Asian Games back in 1990. Shin Kicking. Shin Kicking is exactly what it sounds like. A sport where 2 people grab each other by the shoulders and kick away at each other's shins until one of them hits the ground. Matches are best of 3. The sport has been around for over 400 years, and historically it was much rougher. In earlier centuries, competitors sometimes wore steel-toed boots, which made every kick a potential trip to the doctor. Thankfully, today it's a little safer, though still just as painful. Hockey's tough, but imagine playing it while holding your breath. Welcome to underwater hockey, or Octopush. 2 teams of 6 dive in with snorkels, fins, and tiny 1-foot sticks. The mission? Shove a 1.3-kilo lead puck across the pool floor and into the other team's goal. Matches are split into short halves with players constantly subbing out because, well, oxygen is kind of important. And there's no goalie here. Victory comes down to teamwork, speed, and not panicking when your lungs are on fire. Since you can't exactly trash talk underwater, communication is all hand signals and instinct. It's strange, it's exhausting, and it proves humans will make a sport out of literally anything, even almost drowning. Picture regular polo, now take away the horses and give everyone a unicycle. That's Unicycle Polo. Players ride around on single wheels, mallets in hand, trying to whack a ball into the opposing goal. Two teams, usually 5 players each, battle it out on a court or open space. Easy, right? Not really. Balancing on one wheel while swinging a stick and dodging other riders makes every play unpredictable. It's chaotic, hilarious, and surprisingly skillful. Zorbing, proof that humans looked at a hamster ball and thought, yeah, I want in. The idea is pretty straightforward. Climb inside a giant see-through inflatable ball and roll down a hill, across a track, or even float on water. The ball has 2 layers, an inner capsule for you and an outer shell with a cushion of air that absorbs all the wild tumbling. Basically, you're rolling like laundry in a dryer, minus the broken bones. There are variations too. Harness Zorbing straps you in while the ball rockets down slopes at crazy speeds. Hydro Zorbing adds water so you're sloshing around like a human washing machine. And on flat ground, people even set up races and obstacle courses. Born in New Zealand and now a global adventure sport, Zorbing proves one thing: walking is overrated. Rolling is the future.